If you've been following my channel for a little length of time now, you've probably noticed that today's video is published a little bit differently. It's titled a little bit differently than some of the videos that I've put out in the past. And it's for that reason that I wanted to try to do something new on this channel. I may do this with some other films or something like that, but I don't know if this is going to be a recurring thing. I just wanted to try it out because I thought it would be interesting. Earlier this week, I was watching a little movie with my family called 47 Meters Down. And as I was watching this, I thought to myself, wow, this movie is pretty bad. Not just as a horror movie, but as a as a movie in general. I should talk about this. And I thought, you know what? I talked about The Fifth Wave last week. I gave that a pretty bad review. So I want to try to do something a little bit more on the positive side of something that I personally enjoy. And I noticed as I was watching 47 Meters Down, I kept doing something very interesting. I kept looking at what was going on in the movie, and I kept saying, oh wow, Jaws did this a lot better. And I started wondering myself, why am I doing that? And I still really don't understand why I did that. But then I started to really think about it. And as I've been thinking about it, I think that Jaws in this subgenre of like shark movies, or like it's like a spin-off of, or like a subgenre of horror, I guess is what you could call it. And I came to the conclusion that there's one movie in this subgenre that is so much better than any other movie that's ever been put out in that subgenre, and it reigns supreme, and that movie is Jaws. And I want to talk about how it reigns supreme a little bit later, probably towards the end of this video. But what I wanted to do in this video, as I was watching 47 Meters Down, this is the idea that I came up with to do for this. In this video, I want to do sort of a comparison and contrast. Not really a review, but a comparison and contrast. And not really even that either, but more like a video essay saying that I believe Jaws is the better film as opposed to 47 Meters Down, and I really think you could fill in the blank. You could replace 47 Meters Down, and just replace it with any other shark movie, and I really think that Jaws is going to be the better film no matter what. So in today's video, I decided to put 47 Meters Down versus Jaws, and I'm going to say right up front, I believe that Jaws is the way better film. I believe that it's a way better horror film, and so today I wanted to talk about just how it measures up to 47 Meters Down and really any other shark movie. But stay tuned to the end because I want to talk about a little bit about possibly the negative effects that Jaws has had, and I believe that there are negative effects despite how great it is. The first reason why I believe that Jaws is a much better movie than 47 Meters Down is with the characters. Not just how we emotionally feel, how we're emotionally connected to these characters, but how Jaws uses the characters to carry out the plot in the movie, despite how 47 Meters Down uses the characters to carry out its plot. In 47 Meters Down, we see Mandy Moore's character as she is recovering from a recent breakup that she had with her boyfriend. And so she takes her sister on this trip with her to Mexico, and her sister tries to help her get over this recovering breakup. She's trying to help her get over this, get her mind off of things. So one of the ways that she does that is by helping her meet these guys, and these guys, along with her sister, suggest that they should go cage diving with sharks in the middle of the ocean. That's literally the entire premise of this movie. To me, that is just not emotionally connecting to these characters. I don't give a crap about this girl's relationship that just ended. Like, literally the movie starts with I think like a scene of them at the pool, and then they go back to the room, and once they get back to the room later on that night, she tells her sister, oh, the reason why I brought you on this trip is because I'm trying to get over this breakup that I had with my boyfriend. That's the only reason, because I would have brought him if we wouldn't have broken up. And so it's just, to me, like, just dropping that on you, like, as soon as the movie starts, I don't know, I don't care about that. It really wasn't, like, emotionally convincing at all. And then just to have, literally, I don't think, any reason to go cage diving, you could have many other ways to take your mind off of a recent breakup that you've had. You know, you could do something way safer than cage diving, because that's where eventually something goes wrong and their cage drops 47 meters down, as you probably guessed if you haven't seen the movie. But it drops 47 meters down into the ocean. And so in my mind, that's just, I don't know, that's not really convincing enough for me. To me, you could do something way better to get your mind off of a recent breakup than by doing something that could risk your life. In Jaws, the characters seem a little more fleshed out. Even if you aren't emotionally connected to them, you can still see reasons for them doing what they're doing in the movie. The entire premise of Jaws, if you haven't seen Jaws, is that there is a shark whose fun fact is named Bruce, by the way. But there's this shark that is eating people and killing people in this area of New England, I believe. I believe it's Martha's Vineyard. But he's killing these people, these innocent beach goers, and the mayor is not wanting to close down this town because he knows that during the summer these tourists are going to come in and they're going to give him money. And he doesn't want to close down the beach because if he closes down the beach, that means no tourist and there's no money right there. And so that's already a character that's really great. The mayor in this movie is a whole character that is just completely selfish and only thinks about money instead of the safety of other people. And so because he doesn't want to shut down the beach, that forces the police officer, Chief Brody, in the area to go and find this shark and kill it. And he wants to protect not only the people in his town, but he also is fearful that his family is going to get injured. You know, there's a scene of him on the beach where he realizes there's a shark attack going on right out in front of him, and his son is in that water, and he has to go and find him and protect him. And so that gives him a reason to go out there and kill this shark. That's another really great fleshed out character that's not just trying to get over a breakup. It just seems way better to me. Then you have characters like Hooper, who's a marine biologist, and he wants to study this shark. He wants, once it's killed, he wants to be able to study this shark. Then you have this ancient seafarer type guy named Quint, who's an excellent character, and he knows about sharks, and he says he's going to get paid to catch this shark. And it's just, all the characters in Jaws just seem way more fleshed out than the characters in 47 Meters Down. They have legitimate reasons for doing what they're doing, and that creates a lot of conflict with certain moments in the story. That creates just really great a really great plot for these characters to play out. To me, the characters are just way better. The next way that 47 Meters Down really doesn't measure up to Jaws is the actual horror element. 47 Meters usually relied on jump scares, your standard jump scares in horror movies, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I know a lot of people give that hate, but I don't see any problem with that because it's proven over time throughout the course of history that it's worked. It actually gives people a nice quick scare, and I don't see anything personally wrong with that. But I just believe that the horror element that is used in Jaws is a little bit better, because Jaws normally doesn't really rely on jump scares. It does, I think, in a few areas, and I know one specific area it relies on one jump scare. But usually what this movie does is create a sort of suspense building up to when you see the shark. It is one of the scariest moments ever. Steven Spielberg did something I believe that is really, really interesting in this movie. The shark is actually only on screen for 4 minutes. Of this entire movie, the shark is only on screen for 4 minutes. And so what Jaws does is they continually build up suspense, creating this time where when you finally get to see the shark, it's scary. As a matter of fact, the movie opens up showing you how this shark is a huge danger to the society and to the neighborhood that it's in. We see this lady that is drowned and she's pulled under and she's mutilated by the shark. Later on, we see a few other deaths, and we also get this really great monologue by the character of Quint, who, as he's talking about, he's seen up close and personal someone being eaten alive by a shark, and he goes into great detail about what he saw, what he heard, and it's one of the scariest monologues I've ever heard in my entire life, and it perfectly builds up the suspense of what is about to come and what the shark can do. The third reason of why Jaws is a lot better than 47 Meters Down, I believe, is the film score. Now, some people might say that a score doesn't really have that much of a difference of how it affects the movie, how it affects how a person viewing it would see it. It doesn't work that well. I believe that it really does. And while it may be true that some film scores are weaker than others and it may not help the film out very much, I believe that Jaws is a movie where if you did not have John Williams' score, this movie would not be as scary as it is. I can say that with full 100% confidence. What 47 Meters does is they have scenes at the opening of the movie where it's really just them partying, so they use songs that aren't based off of like what a normal film score would be, what a traditional film score would be. They just kind of throw in songs that you would hear like on the radio or something, and in my opinion they really didn't go too well with what was going on. I wish they would have picked something like way better. They did like this kind of like this like soft party music that was almost, I don't know, it just, I didn't really think it worked. And later on in the movie, they kind of use that traditional, like, this is a jump scare, like a jump scare is coming up, it's building up to this jump scare, and then, wow, there it is, we got you. But what Jaws does, what John Williams did with Jaws, is that he reused the same thing over and over again. He reused the same sound. And how he managed to scare the poop out of you with just like two little like music notes like da-na. How many times has that been parodied in movies, in TV shows, in YouTube videos that you would see? I mean, seriously, that film score has become such a part of pop culture, with being parodied by thousands, millions of people. And this movie, I believe, would be so less, I mean, it would just be insanely less scary if it didn't have this film score to it. John Williams is a mastermind. Now, while I do believe that Jaws is the better movie, it's the best shark movie out there. I'm a strong believer in that, and I'm not going to stop loving it. I do believe that it's negatively affected the subgenre of horror that's shark movies. I feel bad for directors in this subgenre who want to make movies and want to entertain people with these types of movies, because now when people watch it, all they compare the movie that they're watching to is Jaws. If people are like, they do what I did when I watched 47 Meters Down, and they said, oh, Jaws does this better, Jaws had better characters, Jaws had better horror elements, you know, you fill in the blank. People are going to give shark movies nowadays criticism because they don't level up to Jaws. And I'm excluding movies like all the movies in the Sharknado, you know, like all the Sharknado movies. I don't, those are on a whole nother level of silliness that I don't even consider them shark movies anymore. Um, but like I'm trying to say, I feel bad for filmmakers because they're trying to entertain people. They like what they're doing in this subgenre, and people are just going to give them crap for it. And while I do believe that sometimes that crap is necessary to give to certain filmmakers, I don't believe that we should give up on this subgenre, and that we should only consider Jaws the only shark movie that we should watch. We should try to give other filmmakers a chance and support what they're doing instead of just glorifying this one shark movie that we all love. And like I said, I'm not going to stop loving Jaws. I think Jaws is one of the best movies that's ever been made. Definitely the best shark movie that's ever been made, like I said. But I feel like we should give other filmmakers in this subgenre a chance if you're willing to. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you supporting me with everything that's going on. If you like what you saw here, please subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when new videos are posted, which will be weekly. Leave me a like, leave me a comment on this video. Let me know what you think. The video, I was going to say the review, but this wasn't really a review. The video is now concluded.